Okay, uranium friends, you look as I look. Gonna smash through this quickly. Start them off with the ETFs. URA, so nice little bounce. Still needs to get some sort of pivot. That's just what I like as a trader. You guys could do with what you want, right? So maybe some sort of daily high or low to back test into these little EMAs here before it makes another move, but still looks good. This is nice reflexive bounce in the uranium sector. If whoever has been following the sector for a long time knows that we're getting the quote unquote tourists into the sector, not necessarily the mining sector, more like the nuclear tech. URA benefits, of course, because they have larger positions in SMR and OKLO. So, this maybe it's a dinky little pivot here, but that's dinky. Most technical analysts will consider this all one move. For now, this high is set because the low of the previous candle was breached. So maybe we are going to get that daily higher low, and there's plenty of room for it. So it's exactly what I'm going to be looking for. And I will probably make the choice of URAA to play it, just as a adjunct to my long-term position in URA. So that's the way I'm looking at this. So maybe get the higher low, chop around for a bit, and hopefully we get that. So, and I'm probably going to say that exactly about all of the ETFs. So URNM, same deal, right? Looks exactly the same. Failed head and shoulders over there, right? Who cares about that anyway? So a little bit more of a pivot, nice little back test here. Again, this daily 50-day moving average and 50-day exponential moving average acting in concert to hold the support. So it's a nice little undercut here. Cool things off a bit, right? Move on to the next leg. So all looking good, all looking for that daily higher low at some point. URNM did something different than URA, right? So it's most likely because of URA's holdings, which is OKLO and SMR. So I would think I would look in along those lines. So the other one, URNJ, all the juniors performing well, just like URNM did the same exact thing. They kind of do the same thing. I did have puts. I did do well with them. The spreads sucked, which I learned my lesson, and I was never able to get what I wanted to get on my fills, and then it just moved on without me. So that hedge, it still has some time, but it's probably going to not work. It's going to be my guess. I need those spreads to tighten up, and they just didn't do it. So that's the three mains. Let's look at Nukes. Nukes is testing all-time highs again. Made a new all-time high yesterday. Inside bar today. OKLO's financing might have something to do with it, but Nukes is the strongest of the ETFs. Let's look at NLR. Yep, Nukes is the strongest of the ETFs, so it's just that, and that's because of the nuclear tech that's in it more than anything else. That's just the deal. People who are uranium miner purists might not like the action, but it is what it is. The market tells you what it wants to tell you, and you decide whether you listen or not. So CCJ, a huge gap up on the move. If you don't know about Livermore's $100 price mark, $200 price mark, $300 price mark, I suggest you take a look at that. So basically what he says, if it hits $100, it's probably going to hit 130. So you could back test that. This guy Livermore back tested that for a decade. So I'll listen to what Livermore has to say on it for now. Two daily inside bars, right? So it's just a little breach. So yeah, it's a bull flag, and it's got some inside bars. So you're waiting to see with CCJ. Let's just take a look here. I mean, it's still just running hot. So come back and test this gap and take it from there. That would be my guess on something like that. And it's just a guess. So it's confirmed a little bit of a, yeah, I mean, here's your 4-hour high. There's a low. There's a lower high. There's a little bit of a lower low without follow through. It's dinky. It's nothing to really think about overly too much. It's still a 4-hour bull flag, but it's just running hot. So daily high or low, most likely scenario against this 80 buck area. All right, Denison, not my favorite, but doing well. So this is some rotation into these names, which is good. We will see the much maligned. I mean, I took a quick glance, but NXE is once again testing all-time highs, much to the chagrin of people who don't like the way that their management operates. But whatever. All right, so Denison is still continuing its little stair step all the way up. It's going to need a daily high or low at some point. It's got to get that pivot. It's probably the spot to strike. All of them are doing the same thing, that are bouncing off the 50-day moving average and the exponential moving average. Same deal, all looking for daily higher lows. I would keep an eye on this $3 area, maybe even a little higher, 305, 307, $3. That's the area where I'd be expecting maybe the daily higher low to form. Encore Energy, a little bit different, right? So it doesn't have as good of a bounce. It had a much bigger drawdown. But a daily bullish engulfing here, which is nice, right in this moving average stack. Um, bulls are probably working against. Is this enough of a pivot? Maybe. Let's just see what the 4-hour chart looks like. Yeah, so you're getting a good 4-hour grind here, right? So it's a good 4-hour uptrend at the moment. Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, which is already confirmed because it just broke it today. So let's look for that stair step climb, right? Because that's what Encore really likes to do. And you can see it over and over, right? Happen here, all happens here. And then you get this little volatility spike into oversold conditions. And then, it's time to cool it off and bring these RSIs down. So Encore with the bullish engulfing and the 4-hour uptrend looks pretty good. Probably end up being a grinder up. That's why the option chain is not really the place to be on these things. It just doesn't give you the torque that like a CCJ option chain will give you, or a UEC option chain. But still, the space is recovering off this flush, and these flushes are very good to get continuation. Centrus, so look at Centrus, nice consolidation on the 12 EMA. I mean, this thing is just a face ripper in all directions. There's some fundamentals really changing for this company, especially with their LEU supplies from Russia and whatnot. So I would keep an eye on it. The United States government probably really wants these guys to succeed and is going to do whatever they can to do it. But daily inside bar chopping around in this moving average range. LTBR, you've watched my videos, you followed me long enough. I said a long time ago that the company has changed. Something has changed. And I was picking this thing off right back when it started to happen. And people that were following me knew, right? Because I've been watching this value area forever, right? And it took it out. But the whole thing is that there's a massive volume ramp going on in the name. And it's doing great, right? So this is this consolidation area. This is where the fight is happening with LTBR. And I'm sure there's going to be guys who sit there and go, well, you don't understand this technical, oh, this delusion, blah, blah. Okay, whatever, right? So I'm just looking at the structure, and that's what the structure is telling me. So LTBR just keeps making stair stepping its way up again. So we do need that pivot, right? It's the same thing here. At some point, you said, oh, we're going to need the pivot. It got the pivot, right? So, bulls can be working off this 23 area down here. This is decent little structure here in here, right? Previous little highs, bounced off it multiple times. This is just, in hindsight, just an undercut. Right, so you could probably expect LTBR to try to test these highs again if the sector keeps moving the way it's moving. Low float, tough name to play. Um, More of a holder, I guess, right? Nano nuclear, same thing, right? So everybody's getting their bounce on. Everybody's going to be looking for a higher low. This is a dinky little pivot. And when I don't have the clarity, that's when I come to the 4 hour. I look at the 4 hour, and we've got some not even great defined pivots, but enough to say, okay, 4 hours in an uptrend. Um, and we just leave it at that, right? So then the 4 hour uptrend should be turning into a daily uptrend, but and again, it's chopping around on these moving averages. Next gen, oh look, testing all-time highs once again, right? So I've talked about this many times about not being handcuffed by fundamentals and management teams or whatever. Right? At the end of the day, NextGen has one of the best deposits in the world. So yeah, they're a lifestyle company. Yeah, they're sponsoring Formula One race cars. I don't care. You know why? Because the price is once again testing all-time highs. But with the same deal with NextGen, it's going to need, let's backtest into this gap. It'll be very bullish to backtest into this gap and not fill it, right? So I'd be looking in that. I'm personally going to be looking in this $9 range for some sort of ads or whatever. I'll figure it out as time goes on. The problem with most of the sector, though, we've got earnings coming up. So that could be some sort of volatility that might hit us, right? OKLO financing announced, absorbing it very, very, very well, which is very, very bullish from a price action perspective. And same deal with everybody's got earnings coming up, so something that we're just going to have to be aware of. That will be increased volatility, and who knows? It's always earnings are binary events. It's a 50-50 shot. So dancing around the EMAs looks a lot like a lot of other things in the sector. SMR is going to probably look the same. Yeah, it does. It's a little bit slightly better. Again, earnings coming up. The sellers are obviously kind of in this 44, 45 range. You can see it. They've been here. They've been here. This is a heck of a breach right here. Another undercut there. So I guess for all intents and purposes, double daily inside bars. You have to see where they break. The conservative player sees which way they break before they make a directional bet. It's just that simple. UEC, strong, doing well. Inside bar today. Decent little bounce. Next gen proving out to be CCJ obviously, right? So, but next gen proving out to be the strongest below CCJ as it's testing its all-time highs. But you want to see that, and people that can pay attention to the sector for long enough know that CCJ and NXE are usually the leaders, and not too far behind is UEC. So take that however you want to take it. URG. Not looking as good. This is quite the dump. All right. Lower float. Not a lot to garner here. There's just a lot going on. Just see what the weekly for a second here. Yeah, so the weekly took out the last week's high, but there's no follow through. Pretty safe to say that bulls can work against that 145 area. Pretty good volume nodes here, but it has to get through this too. And that's where the battle is now. So 145 is a good area to say, hey, maybe I'm possibly wrong and this thing's continuing down. The most likely scenario with this particular name in this particular situation, obviously, is like because it's such a big downdraft, there's your low. The most likely scenario is a daily low or high, and then what happens is, do we see it make a lower low or does it chop around? And the decision will be made probably through others in the sector first before URG. UROY, not my favorite name. It's URNJ. UROY, not my favorite name, but it is the only royalty name in the space. It is doing well. It's performing well. Is this coming anywhere near all-time highs? Well, it's not that bad. I mean, UROY, it doesn't look horrible. If you're into the royalties, I mean, this is the only one. Um, that you can play royalties, and it is kind of a proxy for the price of uranium spot. So if you believe uranium spot is going to 150, well, I would say that UROY is going to benefit from that. I just remember everyone saying that $100 was the new floor, and we can't even get through 80. Well, we did today in the past day or two, so that's a good sign. But whatever. Uroy, you're playing if you a proxy for spot. Uh, Energy fuels, it's getting a lot of love from the rare earth element of it, and once again, the purists did not like the rare earth element, but this is what's doing well for it. So anyway, while a lot of the other ones are kind of looking like this, if I just took this one today's bar away, right? A lot of the names look like this, and UUUU has already gotten through. Now it's above its daily 12 EMA, so it looks pretty good. It's obvious, like anyone can look at a chart and say, all right, we're going to struggle up here at 23, whatever. There's the option chain is going berserk. Uh, so it's presenting some volatility in the name itself, uh, which makes it a little bit more difficult to play. So people that want to try to position again for what they think might be a run back up to this high here, you're going to have to suffer through some volatility, some options volatility. And it's the same deal. Earnings are coming. So the entire sector is going to be dealing with earnings next week. And that might dictate something. I don't know. It's getting the rare earth stuff. And if we just take a look, like you look at MP, different, right? Sorry. Look at USAR, different, right? So even if you're looking at rare earths and rare earths only, as far as UUUU is concerned, it's doing better. And just on a side note with these guys, you got these little falling wedges that they're kind of getting out of sideways. You'd rather see them V shape, but regardless of that, that's not on the agenda today. So that's the deal with these names. Let's do some bonus. All right. So U.UN moving well, right? Spot's probably moving well too. I haven't looked at Spot in a while. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah. So Spot is doing well too. So you want to see these things, right? And the last time we had whatever, I tweeted, I said, this is the line to hold. It's bullish if it holds this level. It did, right? So now we're starting to find that we've got a new level. So this is exactly what you want. And an instrument like this should do this, right? It shouldn't be whipping around like the equities, right? So just these nice, slow, steady grinds. Weekly uptrend, weekly higher low set, continuation. Let's just get that. It's kind of what we want to see on uranium futures, right? We can just take a look at the monthly for real quick. Right. So the monthly is just grinding away. All right. So it's fantastic. That's it. Uh, the space looks great. The problem is we're coming into earnings, and earnings they could do something that we might not like. It could be individual names. They could be coming in with some sort of announcements. Who knows? Uh, Devil is over and out.